And awareness is the largest step we can make in healing unhealed, trauma-based, uncomfortable areas that need new light, need healing soil, and need new water. Awareness. Not a huge fucking shift. Not a radical replanting and resurfacing. No. Nothing has to change other than just saying, hi, part of me that believes it needs to do this. I see you. Today we're going to talk about healthy boundaries. As a former Christian, the way I was brought up is I was shown by how it was demonstrated to me how the reason why I do everything essentially boiled down to because the group wants you to, because you need to be accepted, because if you don't fall in line and follow how you're supposed to be, you will be wrong. You will be punished, you will be corrected. And so there was always this looming sense that if I didn't show up in some way that felt like conformity, there would be hell to pay. So today we're going to talk about healing the part of us that needs boundaries. We're going to step into the shadow. We're going to step into that scared part of us that isn't sure how to stick up for ourselves. And that's where we're going to find the support that we need to be able to have healthy barriers that protect us. So that when those times come when we feel that pull of conformity, where we feel that thing that's saying just fit in, just go outside of your comfort zone just a little bit, we don't fall back into that previous pattern again. Hi, I'm Daniel Estevez, and I make content for clear, conscious people who want something different, who are tired of the familiar, and are willing to take steps into that uncomfortable space, into that shadow part of ourself, and bring back new light, life, and healing. Part of my job is to be on call once every 6 weeks for the full week. But sometimes calls will come in and then the all call will come out for everyone who can come and help, even if we're not on call. And when that all call comes out, I feel this compulsion, this feeling comes up for me, and it's saying, hey, you're gonna get thought less of if you don't step up. How important is your time anyways right now? Give up your freedom. Give it up, because think how much better it is if the system that you're working in looks at you with high esteem. And for me, that's a trap that I used to fall into. That's the okay, there is the expectations that I've agreed to as part of working at this company. Once every 6 weeks, I'll be on call. Sometimes, work will go longer, and that's totally fine. But when I'm home and I don't have that expectation, but that call comes that says, can you help? Can you step out? Am I bound to the need of conformity? Do I need to say yes? There is that voice in me that is so old and familiar that it's saying, you're already, because you haven't said yes, you're already being thought of less than. You don't fit in. You don't belong. You're going to be treated differently. You're going to be treated disrespectfully because you didn't show yourself useful. And that's the old wiring that we find when we open ourselves up to realizing, hey, that's what's actually going on inside of me. And So when I didn't answer the call and I sat there and I just felt this deep hurt inside of me, and this awareness of long times past that was a fear of abandonment, a fear of punishment, a fear of being shamed. Shame is a huge one, guys. Shame is motherfucker. So often shame has been used as a weapon to beat us into the direction we should be going. And that direction that we should be going is a direction that someone has decided for us that we should be going, not where our spirit, our soul, our body, and our mind actually belongs. But so often shame, this feeling of you are not at the standard I want, and that's not okay, and I'm gonna treat you, I'm going to emotionally distance myself from you. I'm going to be angry at you. I'm going to look at you at a different way. I'm not going to treat you the same way I normally do. And that feeling of shame is such a familiar, powerful instrument that our soft heart, my soft heart, will coalesce and begin to change just to avoid feeling that uncomfortable space. So today we're talking about boundaries. How is it that when we meet all of that milieu of uncomfortableness, how do we show up differently? How do I meet all that stuff from my Christian past about conformity and fitting in, and I won't be treated the same? How do I meet all of that when it comes up and I'm not living up to some invisible standard that I'm not even required to live up to? What do I do? How do I treat myself? How do I show up? And what is the boundary? Firstly, I have to recognize that I cannot control how people feel about me, treat me, look at me. I can't control that. As I want to control that so bad. Every part of my being is wired to control how someone thinks and feels about me. Every bit of my being. And the first step is to realize I have to let go of what someone is or isn't thinking about me, of what place of success or failure that someone's holding over me. For me, it's a trap, because I can just continually make these little tweaks and changes that don't really cost me anything, but I know that I can be looking a certain way and making someone feel a certain way about me. But inevitably, I will discredit my heart. I will discredit my passion. I will step on my actual heart safety for the sake of conforming to appease my boss or my girlfriend, my parents, my siblings, my friends, and even myself. So the first step for me in creating healthy boundaries is I have to recognize I'm a slave. I'm a slave to the system. And that's where I'm at. Is I've been so familiarized with the pattern of pleasing someone else that being pleased myself just means not being in trouble, or not being discredited, or not being looked at in a certain way. That's the threshold for me feeling pleased. That's my trap. That's my burden. So in our pursuit of finding healthy boundaries, we have to realize where we're at now. And there are ways in which we would rather not have a healthy boundary for the sake of comfortability. And you know what? That's okay. Be where you're at, but just give yourself grace to be less than perfect right here. And as we're both wrestling with how is it that I can have a healthy boundary of self-respect while also feeling comfortable in my job or comfortable in my relationship. There's nothing that has to innately change in this moment right now for us to be walking into newness of how to have safe and self-honoring boundaries. Nothing has to change right now other than bringing awareness to places in which you might not be honoring yourself. And awareness is the largest step we can make in healing unhealed, trauma-based, uncomfortable areas that need new light, need healing soil, and need new water. Awareness. Not a huge fucking shift. Not a radical replanting and resurfacing. No. Nothing has to change other than just saying, hi, part of me that believes it needs to do this. I see you. I see how much you are anxious. I see how turned on you are, nervous system, and how concerned you are with how other people are thinking about you. I see you. And maybe at some point we can heal and find a new way to honor our vessel, honor our being, honor our past experiences, and find a new way to be presently. But we're not saving anything in this moment. We are actively processing and healing where our body would normally feel completely uncomfortable and not willing to show up. And that's what we're doing here. We bring awareness to places that we are uncomfortable because awareness is the biggest step that we make towards healing. I love you. I love you, Daniel. I feel your insecurity. I feel your uncomfortability. I feel that you're scared. And I know what you've done before in the past to overcome those hurdles of fear and insecurity. And I know that you've given things away in the past for that sake of safety. Let us find safety with open hands, however it needs to look. And let us find that one step at a healing time together. Thank you guys for taking this journey with me. I'm a life coach. There's a link in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear from you guys. I love hearing your stories. I love hearing where you're at on your journey and how it is that you're doing the work and how you're showing up for you. All right, y'all. Bless. Take care.